Good day, everybody. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thank y'all for coming back for another video, man. Um, it's just a privilege to be able to speak and spread the word. It's a privilege to be able to speak and share my knowledge. It's a privilege just to receive the knowledge myself. So being that I'm receiving the knowledge, I gotta give y'all the knowledge as well. And I'm gonna try to do my best to not go on for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as I have been doing the past couple of weeks, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So, today's topic is blessing in the missing pieces. And the reason why this is so powerful is because it's another mindset shift for myself, right? A lot of times we like to have the full picture. We like to know exactly what's going on. We like to have all the details before we proceed, before we do anything. And we can't necessarily say we trust in God when we want to know all the details. Sometimes it's just go, and you know what I'm saying? He's going to fill those missing pieces in. Sometimes just go. It's going to reveal those later steps in the process to you, right? So it's blessings in the missing pieces, right? Simply put, the greater the lack, the greater God's capacity is in our situation, right? When we think about babies, when we think about a child, they are in the womb in darkness. We don't know exactly what's going on. We don't know what's shaping and forming, but God is doing his best work in the darkness. When we can't see, he's doing his best work, right? And that out of that comes an amazing miracle. Usually a baby with 10 fingers, 10 toes, all the eyes and stuff. It's like, and we didn't see a thing of outside of doctors checking in, but we don't see a thing, and God is able to form a child, right? God does his best work in the darkness. God does his greatest work when we don't have enough, when we are at our lowest, when we are least qualified. That's when the greatest that's that's when we get to see God at his greatest, right? We were saved through Jesus. He came from Nazareth. People, nobody thought anything good was coming from Nazareth. Um, Jesus laid down his life. He did exactly the opposite of what culture tells us. Culture tells us to be, what I'm saying, um, tough. Tells us to, what I'm saying, get back evil for evil. So many of these misconceptions that Jesus came and proved wrong, right? And in him doing that, we were able to be saved. We were able to, what I'm saying, have life. Now let's bring it again. Let's bring it more to the literal aspect term, right? For you to get like food stamps or any type of assistance, government assistance, you got to be nearly impoverished, nearly not having anything for them to say, okay, you meet the qualification. Let us provide you assistance. Right? And that is the same in God's kingdom. When we don't have it, when we are not qualified for the job, when we may not have, the necessary education, when we may not have the necessary hours and just the list can goes on and on. But out of that, God does his best work. You might not have the experience, you might not have the knowledge, you might not even have the know-how, and God can bless you with that job, right? So it's one thing to say, you know what I'm saying, okay, I meet all the requirements. I got the schooling, I got the experience, um, I know what I'm doing, and you get the job. Okay, yeah, you worked for it. You get what I'm saying? So God helped you, but you know what I'm saying, you also put a lot of the work in. But when you don't have those requirements, when you don't meet the standard, when you are least expected, God does his greatest, right? So again, there's blessing in the missing pieces. There's blessing in the stillness. There's blessing in the quietness. God is doing something. He's doing something. So let us, you know what I'm saying, not think less of ourselves or count ourselves out when we don't necessarily meet the requirement, when we don't necessarily have the education, when we don't necessarily have the skills, when we don't necessarily have, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that we are striving, aiming, looking forward to. Why? Because we get to see God at his greatest. We get to see God, you know what I'm saying, doing what he does best when we're least qualified. That is how we get kingdom. That's how we are part of the kingdom assistance program. I like that kingdom assistance program. You know, we got the food stamp program, the women and children WIC program. We got qualifications for the kingdom assistance program. Let us bring it all to God. You know what I'm saying? Let us not try to make it seem like, you know, we got it all figured out. Let us not make it seem that, you know what I'm saying, we know everything, right? Let us humble ourselves. Let us come boldly before God and his throne and just flat out let him know, you know what I'm saying? I you don't have X, Y, and Z, but God is able to do it. I might not be ready here, but God says he's my shepherd, I shall not want. God says he leads me beside still water. So there is blessing in the missing pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Blessing in the missing pieces. I'm so excited now that I have this mindset that I'm less qualified, or you know what I'm saying, I might not have it all figured out. Good, great. Because I get to see God's goodness and glory at work in my life, in others' lives. So it's good. It is. I'm grateful for this missing piece. I'm grateful that I don't know that I don't have it all figured out. I'm grateful that that God is at work. He's at work. So I hope y'all got something from this. I hope this is a value. Hopefully y'all are able to see, you know, a different perspective. Don't count yourself out. God is going to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask, think, or imagine. According, not because I said so, but because he said that in his word. So let us take God at his word. Let us be ever rejoicing in all circumstances. And let us continue to just, you know what I'm saying, seek God and just be ready for what it is that he has for us. Don't forget to put the work in, but it also let us just be ready, you know what I'm saying? Because let us have a mindset of expectancy, of that faith in God that he's gonna, you know, fulfill his promises. So hopefully y'all got, again, y'all, I know y'all got something from this. So stay blessed by the best. God always.